Mayor, you ready to go?
Yeah, Mr. Kazmark, we call the meeting to order.
Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council to order for July 16th, 2015 at 8 p.m. On roll call, council members Caramagna.
Here.
Coletti.
Here.
Martino is absent due to vacation. Petagano is absent due to illness. Foncino.
Here.
Dombrowski.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? O God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting and entrust it to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of every meeting and statement by the presiding officer, now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack, the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is going to be videoed. It will be on cable channel 77 and Verizon channel 40. The date is Tuesday, 12 noon for both of them, Thursday, 4 p.m. for both of them, and Friday, 10 a.m. for both channels. You can also get us on our website if you choose to see it on there. Thank you.
Mayor, this evening, under the approval of minutes, we have the June 4th, 2015 executive session, the June 11th, 2015 executive session, and the June 25th, 2015 executive session.
Motion for all three?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dombrowski, second.
Second.
Mr. Catamagna, any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. I'll need to abstain from June 11th as I was on vacation, and June 25th due to a business trip.
You have that, Mr. Caswell?
Yes, sir.
Call
On
the
roll
roll.
call, council members Caramagna.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Martino is absent. Petagano is absent. Boncino.
June 4th.
Noted abstentions. Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening we have a presentation, so I'll turn the floor over to you.
Yes, we're going to have a presentation for one of our volunteer helpers in the community in recreation, and that's R.J. Calabro. But before I make any statements about it, I wonder if there's some Little League representatives here who might want to talk to us. If they would come up, please use the microphone.
Yes, I'm Keith Worth, President of Elmwood Park Little League, and I'm here with Rich DiLorenzo, our treasurer. We're here to honor R.J. Calabro for his hard work, diligence. Without him, we would be very, lost. I mean, we have a right-hand man, left-hand man. He's the workhorse. He's out there in the fields during the day, every single day, making sure that field is in perfect condition. The lines are down, the bases are painted, home plate is painted. He's out there with DPW working both with the Borough Field, the Pine Street Field. Like I said, he's an honored member of the Little League organization. He was right with us from the start. We wouldn't be where we are today without RJ. So I just wanted to recognize him and thank him for all his hard work. RJ, thank you.
Rich DiLorenzo, also treasurer at Elmwood Park Little League. I was first coach for RJ back, I believe, 17 years ago. He was 8 years old, playing minor league baseball. And from that day forward, RJ would be first one at the field. He'd be cleaning up the dugout at 8 years old. But as time grew on, his passion for baseball and passion for the fields has never quit. He's a graduate of Little League. And after that, as Keith mentioned, he assisted the DPW daily on picking up trash and helping out with the lines and noting any safety issues. And I would know that because he personally would call me at the office every day to let me know, Coach, the field's in great shape today. The guys did a great job. So He's done that for years. A lot of kids appreciate what he does. In the evening hours, he calls just about every single game for the last, I can't say how many years. He'll use the scoreboard. He'll keep everybody informed. He enjoys his job. He's a pleasure to be around. All the coaches and players love him. And without that aspect of the game, it would be a truly disappointing experience for the kids. He adds so much extra to the games and helping out in the fields. It's a joy to have him around, and we certainly appreciate him, and we thank you for recognizing him today. Thank you.
Anyone else? Jeff, you have any comments? Oh, Mr. Calabrese, who's also a long-term member of the Little League.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and folks. Thank you for coming out. Bob Calabro, obviously. RJ is my son. I got to tell you, it's kind of an amazing thing with him as years have gone by. He's taken a lot of this on himself. He gets up in the morning, reads his newspaper, has a cup of coffee. By 7:30, 20 minutes late, he's out the door. He's at the DPW shed over by the field. What do we have to do, guys? He asks the guys, what do we have to do? And the guys send me text messages, and it's heartwarming to know that the guys have really taken him under their wing and given this young man an opportunity to be a part of not only the Little League organization, but the town and the community. He's there sometimes 4 or 5 hours. We know where he is. I can reach out to every one of those gentlemen on the DPW, and they look out for him. As a parent, we can't ask for anything more. It's a special thing for a special person. There's people in the audience here tonight that, like Rich said, he's been coaching RJ for a lot of years. His brother is here, his twin brother, who played with him a lot of years. A coach and his assistant coach that he still works with today as an assistant coach at the Woodbridge. Excuse me, I'm sorry, this is very emotional. At the Woodbridge High School, he's an assistant football coach. So his outpouring goodness for volunteering goes far and above just being in Elmwood Park. He's a genuine person, I could say that, being his parent. His mom and I, we know where he is every bit of the day when he's not at home. He's at the field. I know Rich mentioned the Pine, and Keith mentioned the Pine Street field and the Little League field. He's on his own gone down there when the field has not been playable and made it playable himself when those guys were unavailable. And the softball field. He's at times I've driven past there and seen him with his little bucket and picking up garbage and done the whole complex. Nobody's ever asked him to do that. And as a parent, we can only ask that your kids do what's right, and RJ has done that. So on behalf of the family and myself, we want to thank you for this wonderful presentation tonight, and that's about all I have to say. Thank you.
Anyone else? RJ, why don't you come up here? I have a mayor's certificate to RJ Calabro. The time and special effort you have spent volunteering to ensure the fields are ready for Little League every day. Thank you. There you go, buddy. Any of the councilmen have anything they want to say? What's your name, Coletti?
Coletti.
Yeah, just turn it around.
How soon they forget. Well, there's some nights this job is very exciting, and there's some nights it isn't. But tonight, it's very, very exciting. I look at the audience and I see people that have devoted many, many hours and sacrificed time to this town, and they appreciate each other, and that's why they're here, acknowledging each other. And they don't get the recognition as we are bestowing upon this young fellow here tonight. And it's good that we're capturing him at an early age, and he'll probably remember this moment for the rest of his life. We talk about education, the family education actually is the first form of education that we learn from our parents, our grandparents, aunts and uncles and friends. And then the second form of education is the formal education we get in schools. They're both very important. I think the first is most important, family orientation. So we look at the parents, and we see that the apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree. We all know what Bob has done in his lifetime here. And I'm just happy to be here tonight enjoying this. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. RJ, it was really a pleasure this evening to hear the comments that were made about you and your service to the community. And the one thing that really stood out is, and I heard it in your father talking about you, is that word service. I'm a true believer that how we're measured at the end, we're measured by the impact that we can make on our families, on our community, and our nation. And, you know, in the small bit of service that you do for our town makes a very big impact on the people around you. And you can see from your own family to your community around you. And I truly respect that and appreciate that. So congratulations and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Mr. Dombrowski?
Sure. RJ, first, congratulations. I have to tell you, I drive by that field many times, 8 o'clock. I've even driven by at 7:30 in the morning, and I've seen you on that field. Okay? I, like many of the coaches that are sitting out there, know what it takes to get that field prepared for play after a major rain. And after it rains, you're the first one at the field. You're the first one to get there, make sure that there's no puddles on the field. You're the first one there to make sure that the water gets spread out evenly so that you're not ruining the field. RJ, you are such an asset to the Little League organization, to all the children. I hope that the children look up to you and do exactly what you do when they grow up, because you're an inspiration. And I just want to say congratulations and thank you for what you do for Elmwood Park and for the children of this town. Thank you.
Mr. Caramagna?
My turn, I guess. RJ, I really know your brother more than I know you, and I know he's been always a gentleman, and I'm sure you are the same. Just want to say thank you for what you're doing and what you did, what you will do for us. Thank you very much.
RJ, what am I going to say now? Everybody said it. We had the officials from the Little League commend you, all the council commend you, your mother and father appreciate what you've done, and they say thank you, and I say thank you. So I think what we have here is people watching from not only Elmwood Park, but all over the county, and Passaic County also, look at you and say, that's a nice young man, and he's doing a lot for his community, and he's a good role model for other people. So may I say thank you, keep up the good work. And if you get there 8 o'clock, don't worry about it. 7:30 is early in the morning. But continue doing what you're doing. We certainly like that very much. Okay? Thank you.
No, no, good.
You want to sit in there?
Thank you.
Mayor, I thought he came up to sit in your chair.
Well, no, not yet. May I also indicate that besides the two gentlemen from the Little League who came up, we have in the audience many other members of the Little League, and they're here to recognize what RJ has done. So we have a nice crowd saying, thank you. Good luck to you. Mr. Kasmark?
Mayor, at this time, we'll move on to ordinances under first reading. We have Resolution 244-15, introduce ordinance 15-19 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend Article 22-1.6 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Curb, Sidewalk, and Driveway Opening Requirements be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, August 20th, 2015, at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance may be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper. A notice of introduction and final hearing is required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Catania. Bob, would you just hold on a minute?
Second.
Just want to talk to you. Second by Mr. Dombrowski. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Roll call, Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Martino is absent, Petagano is absent, Vansino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to the consent agenda, we have Resolution 245-15, payment of bills, Resolution 246-15, payment of escrow, Resolution 247-15, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 248-15, renewal of liquor licenses for the 2015-2016 license term, Resolution 249-15, approved license for new used car dealership AJS Auto Brokers LLC, Resolution 250-15, approved license of new used car dealership ELRAC LLC. Resolution 251-15, approved license for new or used car dealership Route 46 Auto Exchange Corporation. Resolution 252-15, approved license for new or used car dealership ESO Motors Cars Incorporated. Resolution 253-15, approved license for new used car dealership Formula One Imports. Resolution 254-15, refund tax overpayment due to tax appeal 609 Market Street. Resolution 255-15, refund tax overpayment due to tax appeal 133 Broadway. Resolution 256-15, refund credit balance for 236 Martha Avenue. Resolution 257-15, authorization of property maintenance by the Department of Public Works to address 85 Willow Street. Resolution 258-15, appoint special legal counsel to handle COA, Chasen Law Firm. Resolution 259-15, release cash performance bond, 18 Jan Court. Resolution 260-15, resolution supporting the proposed plan to restart commuter service on the Passaic Bergen commuter rail. Resolution 261-15, authorize interlocal contract for cooperative pricing with HGAC BUY. Resolution 262-15, approve block party for Rudolph Avenue. Resolution 263-15, resolution accepting the policies and procedures manual for federal aid projects. Resolution 264-15, appoint summer camp replacement employee, Department of Recreation, Justina LaParry. Resolution 265-15, award proposal to Boswell Engineering for LSRP services at the Elmwood Park Department of Public Works facility. Resolution 266-15, authorize stipulation of settlement, Tax Court RFC-1 LLC. Resolution 267-15, refund summer camp registration fee in the Recreation Department. Resolution 270-15, resolution supporting the canoe and kayak trail along the Passaic River. Resolution 271-15, resolution to cancel taxes on non-existent property and refund payments on a deleted property. Resolution 272-15, approve handicap parking space located at 126B Iozia Terrace. Resolution 273-15, resolution rejecting bids for improvements to Boulevard, Section 8 and 9. Resolution 274-15, approve the rescheduling of a block party for 15th Avenue. Resolution 275-15, a resolution approving incidental modifications to the project scope, limits, and municipal aid for boulevard improvements, Sections 8 and 9. Resolution 276-15, resolution authorizing a 6-month extension for boulevard improvements, Section 8 and 9. Resolution 277-15, approved license for a new used car dealership, North Jersey Truck Center Incorporated. And Resolution 278-15, a resolution supporting the designation of stigma-free zones.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Mr. Dombrowski, second.
Second.
Mr. Catania, any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I'm going to have to recuse myself from R26615.
26615?
Yes, sir.
Mayor,
Okay.
can I recommend that we pull that from the consent agenda and that Councilman Dombrowski and Councilman Catamania amend their motion to remove that from the consent agenda to be voted on upon as a separate matter?
So moved.
Councilman Catamania, you consent to that? Okay. So we have an amended motion.
Okay, I have a couple of comments I just want to make, just to indicate that the Stigma-Free campaign is developed by Bergen County freeholders, and basically it's an organization to help people with mental handicaps, and so that they're not picked on by other people or made fun of by other people, and that we are involved in that as a borough of Elmwood Park. We've been working on this for quite a while, and finally, we asked, do we need a resolution to get involved? And we were told, yes, you need a resolution, so we're here this evening, just so that people know we're working with stigma-free. We don't want any picking on anybody, or anybody who has any developmental handicap can be free of any bullying type situation. The other thing I'd like to comment on it is on the consent calendar, we have resolution rejecting bids for section 8 and 9, and going for a 6-month extension. This is the boulevard. Sections 8 and 9 go from, I believe it's Lee Street, all the way up to Washington Avenue. And the bids came in too high, so we're trying to get that back down. The money's there, it's a state grant. The money's there, and I'm surprised that the bids came in a little bit too high. So that'll be paved. The money is there, there's no question about that, and in those two particular areas. So just be aware of that. And if I may, on that same topic, we're trying to work with the state. One of the areas of the boulevard that's most in need of paving is the area from Route 4 on the boulevard down to Elmwood Terrace, in the middle of the apartments. If you ever go by the bank and Walgreens, you know how bad it is right there. And it was supposed to be done last year. It was put off, so we're trying to get that done this year so that we can have some safe roads in that particular area. So hopefully that's going to be done this year, and then we can look forward to the rest of the boulevard being done with a state grant. Thank you, gentlemen. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Martino is absent, Petagano is absent, Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes to all except for R.
Well, we're gonna vote on that as a separate matter,
thank
so
you.
your vote is yes,
And
correct?
yes.
Okay.
That's right, I'm sorry.
And Mayor, Resolution R 266-15, removed from the consent agenda, stipulation of settlement RFC-1 LLC versus the Borough of Elmwood Park. Whereas RFC-1 LLC is the owner of the property located at 200 Riverfront Boulevard, Block 1201, Lot 5, in the Borough of Elmwood Park. And whereas RFC-1 LLC has filed a tax appeal against the Borough of Elmwood Park for tax years 2006 and 2007. And whereas the mayor and council have agreed to authorize the special tax attorney to sign a stipulation of settlement on the terms set forth for docket number 010610-2007 and 011508-2009. And whereas the mayor and council believe that the settlement is in the best interest of the borough, now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park do hereby authorize the tax appeal attorney to execute the stipulation of settlement in connection with RFC-1 LLC versus the Borough of Elmwood Park tax appeal, docket number 010610-2007 and 011508-2009.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Vancino,
Second.
Mr. Coletti, any discussion? Any particular reason that you want to mention, or no?
No, just that I've had dealings with this organization, and I don't feel like
Okay,
I should
that's fair enough.
move forward on this vote.
Okay.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
No.
Coletti?
Yes.
Martino is absent. Petagano is absent. Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Recuse.
Okay.
Mr. Caramagna, you don't want to settle that case?
I'm sorry?
You don't want to settle those cases? The tax-
Well, no, maybe I should change my vote to yes, yes. I think it was,
That's why I mentioned, I thought you...
yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Mr. Caramagna is voting yes.
Councilman Catamania's vote
Well, you don't want to vote on this, man?
is
What?
You
You don't want to vote?
wouldn't anyway.
No.
It wasn't a
passed.
tie, so.
Wasn't needed.
It wasn't
Okay.
needed.
Councilman Catamania's vote is,
Yes.
now reflects an aye vote. Motion carries. Mayor, under reports this evening, we have departmental reports for the Department of Public Works, February 15 through May 15, Library Board minutes for May 18th, 2015, and Recreation Department report for June 2015.
Motion to receive and file.
So moved.
Coletti, second.
I'll second.
Dombrowski, all in favor, opposed? An application bingo license for the Elks. May I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Dombrowski, second. Catamania, discussion, all in favor, opposed, so ordered.
Aye.
Mayor, that concludes my portion of the agenda.
Okay, committee reports, Mr. Catamania?
Yes, Mayor. So, first, we will deal with the coyote, then alligators. Was a lot of fun in here, waiting over there, and I didn't think it was real, but I'd like to say that if people in our borough have this type of animals, like alligators, wild animals, snakes, if you don't want them anymore, I ask maybe they should call the police department or should call us. Perhaps they are afraid that they may get in trouble, but they should not be afraid. I think they should call, and we try to place them to the right direction, because it's not fair that you have an alligator and you don't want it anymore, you dump in a river, where it may grow bigger, and then it could be dangerous for our children. So I ask the people in Elmo Park, please, if you have such animals, call us, be easy for all of us, because even though the alligator cost us a lot of money, because we had a lot of people there, we had DPW, a lot of police, where they could do something else, but these people were concerned, and I hope this doesn't happen again, and I hope we don't have any more alligators. On the second part, we have the Board of Education meeting. I saw they vote for the Boswell Engineering to do the work, and also they approve for the field. And also, Mayor, when I went home the other day, there was an alligator in my swimming pool.
I put it there. Small.
No, this was big.
No, you're being serious?
This was big. It's about 7 feet tall.
Oh.
My grandchildren put it. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Mr. Dombrowski?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The Chamber of Commerce will be hosting a bus trip to the Sands Casino in Pennsylvania on August 30th at 10 a.m. The bus will leave outside Wareca Deli, which is located at 199 Market Street. It is open to the public. It's going to be $40 per person. You get $20 back in casino money and $5 back in food, and there will be also food and refreshments served on the bus. Should be a fun day. They have a bus of 55. If we get more, we can get a second bus if necessary. I'd also like to welcome a new member to Elmo Park, a new store, Fresh and Fair Fruit, which is located at 234 Market Street, which is the former Lil's location. The proprietor is a young man by the name of Bill Cuello, C-U-E-L-L-O, and they will be hosting a grand opening, which I'll be sending an email out to the mayor and council, on July 25th, next Saturday, from 10 to 11. I hope that the public comes out. It's a great little store. It's got some great product in there. He's got fresh meat, he's got fresh dairy, and great fruit. So I'm looking forward to having that location maintained and prosper for a long time. The Board of Health is also on summer session, so there's nothing to report, so progress.
Thank you. Mr. Boncino?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Last week I was in work in a meeting in my office in Morristown, and I get a text from my daughter in Maryland that there's an alligator in the Passaic River. And so I'm in the meeting, I can't really talk, but I text her back, I said, yeah, there's an alligator and there's a coyote surfing on its back, I'm sure. And when I go on NJ.com and guess what? There's an alligator in the Passaic River. So I just wanted to again thank RJ Calabro for his service to Elmwood Park. It's nice when we give out these recognitions here at the council meeting for whether it's a sports achievement and all, but it's especially nice when we're recognizing service and somebody giving something back to our community. It's extra special. Our police academy, or I guess our first police academy, is underway. It's been running all week between 9 and 3. From all accounts, it's very successful. Our cadet recruits, or I guess cadets, they're learning a number of things about police and law enforcement, physical fitness, self-defense, and it's going to wrap up tomorrow. Our police department's doing an excellent job, and I think this will be an event that we hold on summers for years to come. I think this is our we don't have another meeting before National Night Out, right?
2 weeks.
No, that's it, yeah.
This is it, right? So August 4th, first Tuesday of August is National Night Out, and National Night Out is a community event that recognizes community policing, and it's to foster a police-community partnership in different municipalities, and we've hosted that for a number of years now. It's an excellent event to come out, meet our first responders, our police department, and just have a night where we can kind of meet our officers on a one-to-one personal basis. So please come out. I believe it starts at 6 o'clock,
That's correct.
runs till about 9 o'clock on
8:30.
8:30? Till, on Tuesday, August 4th.
And potential bonfire afterwards.
A potential bonfire? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And a potential bonfire.
Potential?
I just wanted to note today,
Hasn't
there,
been approved yet, but
Okay.
today there was a tragedy in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I spoke of service before when I alluded to RJ, but 4 young men who dedicated their lives to service to our nation were gunned down today. And I know it's very preliminary and an investigation's underway, but I hope this serves as a wake-up call to our nation. We have to get out in front of this. This is a cancer, and we have to stop it. It's affecting our armed forces, our law enforcement, and our nation in general. And I think our Constitution provides, first and foremost, that our government defends our citizens and our nation, and hopefully this serves as an awakening for our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boncino. Mr. Rendazzo, anything? Progress. I have just a couple things. Excuse me? I thought you gave yours already. Okay.
that was last week. He gave it last week.
Well, he's been talking so much, I thought we started from
I
you.
knew he was going to say, I've been talking so much. We got more to come, Mayor.
You're getting my point?
Yes, yeah. There's been much discussion about the Passaic River water quality improving, and I guess this alligator proves that that is correct. We have animals migrating from the south to the north, so that's a good thing, and I believe the riverman would appreciate that. On the lighter note,
Climate change.
regarding our fire department, on August 14th, 7 p.m., our fire department will be hosting a mutual aid fire drill at the old flea market location on Slater Drive, across from our DPW building. Neighboring mutual aid towns will be participating in a mock fire drill. Public is welcome from a distance. The paint is in for our fire hydrants. It's now in the hands of our police chief, who's in the process of having them painted via the help of Bergen County inmates. So that is a work in process. Regarding our JIF insurance fund, we are holding approximately at $7.5 million surplus. That's down slightly from last year. However, to be expected due to the extreme winters we have had here. And our iconic tank is back from remediation on the corner of the Boulevard and Market Street, looking much younger than its age. Mayor?
Thank you. Let me just indicate that I've already contacted the Department of Transportation to look at River Drive and to review where the bus stops that goes to New York on the way back to River Drive. I've heard that some people are getting off in and around Birchwood Avenue and then trying to cross from there, and that area has been widened so that they will look at that and then get back to us to give us their survey and see if we have any questions about it. Certainly, my own estimation is they have a bus stop there. The people who want to go on to Hillman or Birchwood could get off there, but if they're trying to cross to the apartments, they should go to the traffic light and get off there and cross when the traffic light is there. So they're looking at that. Second, same thing happens over with Garden Drive. You go to Garden Drive, you go to Fredericks Court, you go to Martha and Kip Avenue. Very difficult to make a left turn early in the morning. So hopefully the county, and I spoke to the police chief about this, and maybe they can come up with some suggestions. It's only crowded in the morning, but after that, you don't want another traffic light. We have a traffic light on Market Street, we have a traffic light on Locust, we have a traffic light by Route 46, and we're going to have another traffic light there. We have a traffic light in Garfield. Will be one big traffic light, so I don't know how they're going to try to resolve it, but we'll look for that. Cinco Paint, the building on Van Riper Avenue. Everybody knows where that building is. It's across from the where company number 4 firehouses. That building has been there. It's been painted, repainted, refurbished to a certain extent. We're trying to get that building down. And I spoke with Mr. Kasmark today. He contacted the company that's working on that. It's been a while, but they're trying to get it through the state organizations and see if they can get the funds necessary and tear that building down and see that there's no contamination within that building. So we are working on it for people who are wondering what's happening with that building. It's there too long, and hopefully we'll get it down. I mentioned before about paving Route 4, the boulevard from Route 4 to Elmwood Terrace. Also, I want everybody here and people who are watching this to know that Public Service is putting in the gas line through a grant that they have from the federal government on many, many, many streets in Elmwood Park. And what we've learned from them is that when all the construction is done, all the lines are put in and attachments to the homes and so forth, that they will be repaving the street from the curb to approximately 14 feet to the middle of the road. Now, they will repave all of that, we're told by our engineer, and that will be good because there are certain areas that they're doing, namely near Orchard Street, Lee Street, Miller, and so forth, that we can get federal funds, community development funds, and maybe we can work it out so that we can pave the second half, and we'll not only get the first half paved by Public Service, free, but we'll get the second half through community development. Community development may take a little longer, but even if it's a year or two later, and they do have to patch it right in the middle, it'll hold up, and it's not going to cost the town any additional money. So that's good news. And we also, we haven't heard from the federal government yet on community development money. We've been approved for approximately $185,000 from community federal money that goes through the county, and then we sit at the meetings and we divide it up between the various districts of Bergen County. We're supposed to get approximately $185,000. We haven't gotten it yet because we have to wait for HUD, the federal agency, to approve it and give us the money. I spoke to the leadership of that organization today, the attorney, and he said, the money's coming, we just have to wait. So we have $185,000. They'll do part of Summit Avenue, they'll do North Street from the Boulevard to Grant, and one or two other streets, but that's in the works. It's going to be done. We've gotten the grant, we're just waiting for that. Also, after many calls over the years, they're finally going to be fixing the grade crossing, the railroad grade crossing, on the boulevard near the firehouse, company number 4 on the boulevard. Now, they should be, I'm told, they're having a meeting tomorrow morning, and it may be in a couple weeks that they can get started doing that. If you've driven on Midland Avenue and you see the way that railroad track crossing has been renovated, that's what they're trying to do here. They're going to put concrete in, and maybe we wouldn't have the rocky road to go over that crossing. It's been fixed a couple times, but it eventually does deteriorate, and we do have some problems there. So they're out to fix that. And what I'd like to do now, I mentioned it to the council before the meeting. We just found out today that we have the Elmwood Park Centennial Committee, can be guided by the our insurance company and approved by insurance companies. So if there's any problems, that the committee will be held not accountable, and the insurance company will take over that organization. What they wanted from us is that I indicate through my appointment, I think, of the officers and the trustees of the Elmwood Park Centennial Committee. I did not pick these people. They were all picked by the Centennial Committee, but I just have to nominate them so that we can be covered. The officers are Geraldine Moeller, President; Carmela Cusmano, Vice President; Jean Freitag, Recording Secretary, Gloria Spadaro, Corresponding Secretary; Elizabeth Masaga, Treasurer; Judy Pikus Reagan, Assistant Treasurer. The trustees: Kathy Backer, Penny Forsteri, Brenda Hoffman, Maria Nahorniak, Vijay Sami, and Maria Boncino. Mr. Kazmark, I think I gave you a copy of these, did I not?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so I'd like to, with council approval, is there any disagreement with that? I think we all want that to happen, so, okay. I don't have anything else that I want to bring up at this time. I'm going to open the public meeting. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard from the public? Please come up. Give us your name, your address.
Gladys Griskowitz, 256 Fensack Avenue. I think many of the issues that I'm going to bring up have to do with ordinances, so maybe May Moeller or Keith can tell me if there are ordinances. I see a lot of makeshift gardens going up, and usually a garden is planted in the ground. These gardens are 10 feet high. They are made of PVC piping, wood, rope, and they are an eyesore.
Gardens,
Gardens.
vegetable gardens?
Yes,
Can you give us a street?
sure. I can give you Marginal Drive. This one house has
Oh,
two.
you don't have to do that, just contact
Oh,
Keith,
okay.
yes.
What I would like to know is, a building inspector came back there and told me that they're legal. They're higher than a fence. A fence can only be 6 feet high, am I correct?
Maxim.
The max,
Yeah,
6
4
feet.
feet in the front.
Okay, these gardens are 10 feet high, and I have pictures of all
Okay.
of them on my phone. They're an eyesore. I don't want to have to look out my backyard and see PVC piping, wood, rope, and they're actually fastened to fences that aren't theirs, okay? So, I made a complaint, and I was told that these gardens are legal. They're not legal. I'm no dummy, and I've ridden around town, and I've seen these gardens in quite a few places. They're hanging vegetables from the top. Okay, so, they're not cemented into the ground. So when a big wind comes, I would like to know who's responsible when they smash into someone's car. Okay?
I can tell you the answer to that, the homeowner.
Yeah, well, and.
Am I right?
So are there any ordinances? That's my question.
There are no ordinances that I'm aware of that would govern something like that. To be
Okay.
honest with you, this is the first time even hearing of the concept.
Okay,
That's not to say that the mayor and council shouldn't consider an ordinance. I know we've had some concerns in the community about bamboo being grown in folks' yard and extending to neighbors' yards, and we've had some complaints about that. We've looked at the possibility of considering an ordinance pertaining to that, but that may also need to encompass the concern that you're sharing this evening.
see, my concern is I have a 6-foot fence, and I like my privacy. I don't want to see someone's 10-foot garden that's a makeshift garden. It's not even something that was purchased and it's beautiful to look at. It's a makeshift garden. Another issue I have is shingles, okay? I have a neighbor who, I guess, had leftover shingles, different color shingles, and decided that they were going to checkerboard their shed in every shingle that they had left over. And I would like to see an ordinance that prohibits that. If you have someone on the boulevard who says, oh, yeah, I don't have a lot of money, but I have 5 different shingles and I need a new roof, I will checkerboard my house. It's not good for Elmwood Park, and it's just, overall, it's just not a compliment to the town. Another issue I have, on the Boulevard and Rudolph, and you can drive by tomorrow and you will see, is there an ordinance that prohibits people from selling their cars on any street?
If it's got a license plate and a registration, they
So
can...
you're allowed to put these cars on anywhere you want to, and they can stay there for months, and it's for sale?
No.
They're not allowed?
You have a 2-hour parking, or
Okay.
20, or 48 hours a car needs to be moved.
So, all right, another issue I have, my block on Fensack Avenue off the boulevard is a very nice block. We have a two-family house that has been grandfathered in. We've had problems with this house for many years. The owner of the house allowed a person to park their cars in their driveway in front of their home who lived in Union City. As far as I know, there's no ordinance prohibiting anyone from parking their cars in Elmwood Park. And 48 hours, believe it or not, is a long time. When parking is at a premium in this town. Okay, so when my husband comes home from a hard day's work, he wants to pull in front of our house, okay? I know that we do not own the block, but I do not believe that people from Union City should be allowed to park their cars on our block for 2 days. I don't care if it's 48 hours or 72 hours, it's too long.
Are
So-
they commuting, Gladys?
No, he he collects these junk cars, because that's what I call them, they're junk. They're not even collector cars, and he parks them all on Fensack Avenue, because he's allowed to. There's no ordinance here in Elmwood Park.
License plate and registrations all
Yes,
in order?
yes. Well, some of them weren't. I called, and the cop marked his tires when the cop should have had that car towed. There was no registration on the windshield.
But it was marked for the reason that he can't do anything until he sees if that car is moved after so many hours.
Right, but I thought if you didn't have a registration in the window, it should...
Inspection sticker. Inspection sticker, I think she's referring to.
Right, I'm referring to, it. If there's not a valid, there was not an inspection sticker on the windshield at all.
There could
It's
be.
not total offense, it's a fine.
It's a fine, it's a
That's-
ticket.
You can't tow a car.
Okay, so then I come here now with the red parking sticker. Okay, I came here years ago, and Garfield has it, Lodi has it, and I believe that if we had the red sticker here in Elmwood Park, it would alleviate a lot of guesswork with the police here in Elmwood Park. They wouldn't have to wonder, well, you know, is this person, is this an abandoned car, is this a stolen car? You know, the red sticker, to me, is very valuable to this town. You know, parking is at a premium, as we all know. That two-family house that I'm complaining about just sold in an estate sale and has been bought by we don't know who. Okay, it has a one-car driveway. So I don't, it's a two-family, I don't know if 6 cars are gonna be there, I don't know how many cars are gonna be there, but I would like to know that the people that are parking there do actually live on our block. And if Garfield can do it, which is a city, okay, it's not a borough, it's a city, Lodi does it, I would like to see Elmwood Park go forward with that.
Thank you, we'll look into that. I've just seen the 5-minute notice.
Okay, oh, really? Okay, well, I have one more thing. Abandoned homes, there's too many here. On Rudolph Avenue, there's been one abandoned for 25 years.
Right.
He pays taxes, I don't care. There's wood up in the windows, because his windows have fallen out. I don't believe that, it's blight. Do we have any blight ordinances here?
That has been before the building department for many years.
Right, and why?
Because the people who own that house live out in Chicago, I believe, and they're arguing with the family as to who owns the house and whether they should sell it or not. What you're saying, and I'll try to move quickly on it, what you're saying is we do have many houses in town, and I've been working with the building department and with Mr. Kazmark about mowing their lawns, putting liens on the houses and so forth, because we can't find the owners. The banks are giving us a problem, and before I finish with you and maybe adjourn the meeting, I was very surprised. I went to Garden Drive and River Drive, okay? We have a historical house there. That's in terrible shape. So I reported that to the building department today, and I'm going to report it to the Historical Society in Bergen County.
I just don't think it's fair to homeowners who keep their houses nice. 244 Polsta, 6 years, that house has been vacant. They have allowed the weeds to grow so big now, you cannot even see the house. It's right near the dentist. If you go around the corner, that house has been vacant for 6 years. You know, it's like, why even bother getting a permit for anything if houses are allowed to just go to the wayside.
Well,
It's not fair.
they're not allowed to do that, but we can't sell the house, and we can't condemn, unless it's condemned, and there's certain legal things that I know
But I would
that
like
the
to see
judge can...
ordinances put in place
Well,
where...
there's certain things we can't do even with an ordinance. I've been arguing with that with Mr. Kazmark and Mr. Boland for the last 2 weeks.
Well, what do other towns have it? Other towns have
No,
it,
the other-
you can't paint homes a certain color. It's not in the ordinance. Why doesn't Elmwood Park go forward with ordinances?
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? If not, may I have a...
You got Jimmy.
Jimmy, you want to speak? If no one else was to speak, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, we need to enter into executive session. Whereas the
Yeah.
Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss negotiations with a shared services agreement between the Recreation Department and the Board of Education, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Mayor will need a motion.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Boncino, Mr. Coletti,
Second.
all in favor, opposed, so ordered. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Mr. Zabrowski, Mr. Caramagna, all in favor, opposed, so ordered. I would like to specifically thank our attorney for his credibility.
You didn't want me talking tonight.
No, I thought we started with you and then went here.
You know what it looked like? I think you got so used to your right side of your line. You're so strong tonight, you forgot you had anybody on your left side of the line.
On the left side.